There is a cool way to find the outlier using box plot. Box plot, as you know, it classifies the data in box way. Meaning, for example, this is quartile 1, and then you have median quartile 3. So this box is called interquartile range. That is Q3 minus Q1. Whatever the values are there between Q3 minus Q1, it is called interquartile range. So now the subject is how to find the outlier. This is very, very easy. Now you can see that this is an outlier on the upper side and then lower side. Outlier is nothing but unusual point either at upper side or lower side. How to create this one? Let me just duplicate this file and I'm going to create this one here. Let me rename as B, just B, box plot. Okay, so first of all, what I will do, I will just delete this chart also as well, and then let me do that random between. So my random between value is between, let's say 100 to 200, right? So this is expected value, right? For example, 124 is coming and so on, right? So 15 data points. So these are all, if I do that, so probably this may not have any outlier, right? So first select this data, go to insert. In the insert, if you're using web version of Excel, you'll find statistic. In a statistic, you can pick up box and whisker. Just have a pick it up. And now I'm dragging it back to this one. Okay, let me delete all these grids. Now it has given beautiful box plot also as well, right? So this is the value, and then if you wanted to have the values, you can do that at the data labels. You can do that at the data. Okay. So now you have everything. So what if in case that if the value goes down, just for the explanation purpose, maybe I'll give a name called box plot, and then I will use find outlier. Okay. So now I'm trying to invoke the value which is outside the spectrum of 100 to 200. So let me take this value. I will make it here red. Here also I will make it red, and I will invoke the value. So different values I will invoke. Let's see how it is getting detected. So what I said, the definition of outlier is unusual point. Unusual point could be at the upper side or lower side. So now here I'm just giving unusual point could be, now here in 100 to 200, I'm just giving 300, right? Which is outside 199 or 200. You see, so 300 is showing automatically as an outlier, right? Similarly, I'm trying to keep it inside the below 106. Maybe I'll give 80 as an example, right? So 80 is still there part of that one. So what I will do, I will just put 30 as an example. So 30 is still is touching, right? It's part of that data spectrum. So then I will give 10. Okay, 10 is an outlier. You can see here 10 is an outlier. And similarly, if I give any very extreme value, one of the cool tips in Excel is to drag and drop the values or move the column from one location to other location. For example, if I wanted to make list one here, all in the conventional method, you might be doing it control plus, and then you will copy this one and then cut and paste here, right? So without it, we can do it very easily using the drag drop option, right? For example, this is the column. I wanted to move it to list 3. List 3, I wanted to move it to here, right? All you can do is that you can drag, select this one using shift, select, and then you can drop here, right? So when you drop here, if you cover here, it is trying to replace it, but we wanted to not replace, but we wanted to drag that one, right? So you have the needle is coming, a vertical needle, and then you release it. So list, you can see that list 1 has been moved here. Let's say this list 2, I wanted to move it back to list 3 example, right? Again, the same thing. And you all you can do is that you can, using the shift, you can just drag, I mean, select this one, and then you, if you do that, it will replace, but we don't want to replace, but we wanted to drag, right? So just click that vertical needle, the green vertical needle. Now this is there, right? List 1, list 2, list 3, automatically it has come. I hope you find these small tips using drag, or even you can do that replace also as well using the same technique called selecting the value and dragging it. I hope you find it useful. Please do like, share, subscribe, and channel. You have a wonderful day. Why aggregate formula is better than normal formula or subtotal formula? As you can recap that, if you look at the subtotal has got 22 formulae you can directly apply, or if you take aggregate where you can apply and extend its formula to 19 different formula or values you can easily find out using single formula. Let's do it. Why it is so big deal? to use aggregate, and we're going to compare with the subtotal also, and then normal way also as well. It has all three has its unique purposes, and after the video, you'll get to know that you can probably use subtotal or aggregate depending upon your situation. So this is my data set here, and this is accessories is a type, and then you have a value. In the value in between, if you have an error, you will not be able to find out any calculation. For example, I'm trying to find out average. It gives an error. If I remove this error, so probably it will work, and if I remove this error, it works, right? So similarly, if I undo it, so if any error is there, the formula will not work. Same goes for subtotal as well. For example, subtotal, and then you have, as I said, that it has 22 highest number of expression you can create. And let's say we'll take an example of average, and then it gives the array. So in the array, I'm going to keep this, and again it gives the error. If I remove this one, and probably it works, right? If I keep any text or any error or any text or any error, it will not work. So instead of that, you can use aggregate, which is far better than subtotal and normal way. You can just put the aggregate, and it has 19 expressions, mainly percentile, quartile, large, all that we can find out. Let's go to average. So this is an additional part, right? So 7 different things you can do. Ignore nested subtotal, ignore hidden rows, ignore error, and ignore hidden rows, error values, nested subtotal, and all that. Ignore nothing, ignore hidden rows, all that errors, and then all that, right? So for example, in our case, we can probably select 3 or 6, right? Let me go ahead and select 3 because that ignores the hidden rows also as well. And then I'm going to select the array. Now you see that the values are coming, right? So it is exactly calculated the average also as well. Like, and also have a freedom if I wanted to find out median, right? Median also you can find it out, right? Usually you will not find that median formula. For example, medium also you can find it out. But in subtotal, okay, let's say that in subtotal, what options you have? You don't have that median here, right? So the max you have that variation and average, counted, max, and all that, right? So aggregate also has useful formula for a statistician called median also as well. You can find it out. If you need to somehow use this subtotal, and then probably what you need to do is you need to ensure that the value does not contain any error. In such cases, all three way it will work: normal, subtotal, aggregate. But only in aggregate you can create a logic and you can skip that error also as well. I hope you find it useful. Please do like, share, comment, and you have wonderful. Use emoji to spice up your Excel board. There are 3 columns. One is sales representatives, sales values I have, and then these values are being linked to a status using emoji. How to do that? And every time I have given random between 100 to 300. Anything beyond 200, I'm going to give sunglass, and without it, I'm going to give without sunglass. I mean, if the value is less than or equal to 200, I'm going to give that. And every time it will keep changing it just to illustrate an idea how to create this one. Right? To do that, only we need one formula and one shortcut. The formula is if formula, this value greater than or equal to 200, I'm going to pull up the condition called window dot. And here emoji will open. Here I will give smiling face with sunglasses. Close bracket. And then I'm going to give comma. Again, I'm going to invoke the same thing. So I can pick up from the recent, or I can take from window dot also as well. So let me pick from the recent one. So recent I have used. Okay. So double quote and the window dot. I'm going to pick up this, close the bracket, and hit enter. So now you see these values are getting updated. I'm just dragging this value till the end. So you see that any value which is greater than 200, for example, in this case, it is greater than 200, it shows up that it is with the sunglasses, and without it, it shows up that it is without sunglasses. And dynamically, based on the values and conditions, it will get automatically changed. Thank you so much. Start using it and let me know how it is useful for you. Thank you so much.